Guys, welcome back again to my channel. This recipe right here is a highly requested recipe. Everybody has asked me for the past 2 years how to make Jamaican blue jars in the kitchen. Me are showing you how to make this a blue jars, yeah, like 1, 2, 3, because this recipe is so hard in a lot of people's mind with so many steps. I'm going to show you guys an easy way how to make blue jars in your kitchen without feeling fearful so the thing are going to turn out low. So me I'm going to show you how to turn up this thing and mad loud. Easy. So the one to see how me turn up my blue jars in my kitchen. Come on and let's roll now. Guys, let's go over your ingredients and what you're going to need to make this thing. In here I have 3 cups of cornmeal. You'll definitely need 3 cups, but you might need 4 cups. All depends. As I go along, I'll let you guys know if I needed to add another cup, but right in here right now is 3 cups. Okay, now what you're also going to need is 1 dry coconut. 1 dry coconut, and when we then blend up this thing here, we're going to get 4 cups out of this. So this 1 dry coconut going to get me 4 cups of coconut milk. Now I also have 2 cups of brown sugar. Do not use granulated sugar, guys. Do not use any other sugar but brown sugar. This is 100% brown sugar. Alright, I'm going to put some vanilla. I'm going to put 2 tablespoons of vanilla in there. I'm also going to add some cinnamon powder, salt and nutmeg. 1 teaspoon of salt, 1 teaspoon of nutmeg, and 1 tablespoon of cinnamon powder. Also to that, I'm going to add a half a cup of raisins. The raisins is optional, but when my mother used to make this thing, she always put raisin in it. And me, I'm going to put my raisin in it, just like Mama showed me, you know. Now, I also have my cassava, right? This is about a pound, I would say a pound and a little bit more of cassava. And I'm going to use all of this in it. Also, I have my Jamaican sweet potato. Do not substitute no other else kind of sweet potato, because the thing will come out whack. If you want to have that original Jamaican taste of your blue jars, you're going to have to stay tradition to the Jamaican sweet potato. So this is my Jamaican sweet potato right here, and this is about a pound of sweet potato right here. Now the next thing you're going to need is your banana leaf, right? Based on where you live, if you cannot find banana leaf, you can use foil paper. Foil paper works just fine. Alright? If you can't find banana leaf, go foil paper. And of course you're going to need some kind of string to string up this thing here and tie up this thing here to make the thing stay tight when you put it in a big old pot. So come on and let's get this thing here going. Okay guys, this is your first step and your easy step. Instead of using your grater to grate your coconut, grate your cassava, grate your sweet potato, all you're going to use is your blender. Now guys, if you follow my steps carefully, I guarantee you, you will have an amazing blue jars going in your kitchen for you and your friends. Impress your neighbors, alright? But you must follow my steps carefully. So let's get this coconut into the blender and then we will come back. Okay guys, we're moving on to the next step. Here is the cassava and the sweet potato, and what I did was cut it up in small sizes. Instead of grater it, we're going to put it into the blender, and we're going to use that coconut liquid to purify that in the blender. So I will show you that step. And my sweet potato into the blender. And then I'm going to go in and get my coconut water and just pour it in there. So you don't want to use water to blend it. You want to use that same coconut that you blend up first and smooth out the mixture. So I'm going to go ahead and blend this out, and then we will move on to the next step. 3 pounds. Okay guys, we're moving on to the next step. Here I have my 3 cups of cornmeal, and the next thing I'm going to do is pour that liquid that I blended up in there, and that is your cassava and your sweet potato, and you pour everything in there. And I'm going to go in and throw the rest of the coconut milk in there, and so that's the total of 4 cups of coconut milk. Next thing I'm going to do is put my 2 cups of brown sugar. Then I'm going to put a 1/2 cup of raisins, teaspoon of salt, teaspoon of nutmeg, and a tablespoon of cinnamon powder. Also gonna add 2 tablespoons of vanilla. And guys, I'm also gonna be using some of that dried coconut. The coconut when we juice out and stuff, you're gonna use some of that, and just put a little bit of that in there to give it that extra coconut flavor. You just want to go and mix this in. Now guys, if you want to add a little bit more sugar, you could do that. I have exactly 2 cups of sugar in here. I don't think I need any more sugar, but you could go ahead and taste it and see if you need anything else. So that is pretty much it. I have my hot water going on the fire. I'm going to use my big pot for boil this in, and I'm going to show you that next step that you need to do before you get these into the pot. So that's pretty much that. And so I will see you in my next step. Okay guys, we're moving on to the next step. The things that you will need for this step is your card. You will need this card to tie up your dukono in your banana leaf. Of course you're going to need a banana leaf, and you're going to need your scissors. Alright, you're definitely going to need your scissors. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and get this going. Okay guys, the first thing you want to do, like my mom would say, you got to make sure you parch the banana leaf. Alright, so how you do that? You get it over the heat of your stove, and you kind of move it around the stove so the heat can catch it, so it softens the banana leaf. Because if you don't soften the banana leaf, it's going to break when you try to bend it. Or you get some hot boiling water, and you just pour it on top of the banana leaf, and it will soften the texture of the banana leaves, okay? And like I said before, otherwise you just go ahead and you use your foil paper if you don't want to go through that. Now the next thing I'm going to do is get my string ready, and I'm just going to cut it right this out. Alright, then I go ahead and I put my mixture into the middle right there. And then all I'm going to do here is kind of fold it like that, and turn it up and bend the ends under that. So you have it, you're holding it up like that, and then you bend the other side. Put it on your flat surface. You get your string, you tie it, go around up like that. You cannot come around again and tie it like that. And that is basically how it's done. Like that. I'm going to make another one for you guys. Okay guys, I'm going to show you another one. Okay. You get your banana leaf. You make sure that you parch the banana leaf and you poach it or whatever and you eat. You go ahead and you put your mixture in like that. And then you fold it like that and turn it up and bend it under right away so it sits right into the thing like a cup. And then with the top portion, you just want to go ahead and bend it under. Put it on your surface like that. You get your string, you cut it tight. This is the fun part. You tie it. I like to go under and over again and tie it. You just basically want to make sure that every single side is tied really nice and tight. And you don't want it to come loose once you start boiling. Well, once it starts boiling, you don't want it to come loose, right? So that's what we're trying to achieve. And there you have it. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead and pop these into my boiling water. And guys, you got to make sure that your water is nice and hot. Like, not just hot, but you got to make sure that your water is like boiling before you put it in there. Okay guys, I want to remind you guys again, before you put your blue jaws in the pot, make sure that it's nice and tight. You want to make sure guys that it's nice and tight, because if it's not tight properly, everything is going to leak out into the water. So you want to make sure that you go around it, come around the other side, and make sure that the nut is tight, secure. Okay, so you want to make sure that before you put it inside of your hot water. So just a reminder. Okay guys, now that I have my water, I'm a water boil exactly how I want it. It's supposed to be bubbling, like really bubbling. This is the time you want to go ahead and put your blue jaws in. And these gonna boil, this gonna cook exactly within about 40 minutes. Okay, you want to make sure you give it time, 40 to 50 minutes. You know, you make it boil and you just let it stay there and boil until it's done. And then when that blue jaws is finished, I will come back and I will show you guys what that looks like. See you back. My blue jaws is bubbling really nice. It's been boiling for about 40 to 45 minutes. I'm going to give it another 5 minutes and then I'm going to take it out. I'm going to put it on a plate and I'm going to show you what that does. I'm going to show you what it looks like on my plate. So blue jaws don't gonna turn up to that loud. Okay guys, my blue jaws is all done. So what I'm going to do is still pretty hot, as you could see. There's still heat coming out of it, but I wanted to go ahead and kind of cut into one of them for you guys and let you guys see what it looks like as well on the inside. And there you have it. Perfect. It is just perfect. Nice and hot, and it's ready to be eaten. And that is exactly how your blue jaw should be. It shouldn't be dry and look like total. It's supposed to be nice and just have that nice little juicy flavor to it. I'm going to let that cool down and then I'm going to go ahead and bite into it, and that should even be better. Maybe I could even cut into it for you guys so you could see the texture of it as well. So there is your texture right there. Perfect. Doesn't get any better than that. Oh, that looks so good. Okay guys, I thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel, guys. Very important, okay? Like, thumbs up, let me know what you like to see me cooking next. And as always, from my kitchen to your kitchen, enjoy! I'm gonna let this cook for a good 30 minutes on medium heat. Cover it up nice and make it simmer. And when it's done simmer, it's time for eat. So see you back in a few minutes.
So this is in with your foundation, full coverage, you know, like bam. And last but not least, the last thing I tend to go for in my makeup collection is this palette right here. Let me show you what this baby looks like. It has a whole bunch of concealers. I believe it's $10 for this palette.